Itohan woke to the soft crackling of dying embers in the hut's small fireplace. The night had passed, but exhaustion still weighed heavily on her body. Hunger gnawed at her stomach, and her throat was parched. She had survived another night, but for how much longer? Summoning her remaining strength, she stepped outside. The early morning sun bathed the forest in a golden glow, birds sang in the treetops, and the air was thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers. She needed water. Guided by the distant sound of flowing water, Itohan made her way through the trees. Her body was weak, her steps unsteady, but the promise of cool relief kept her moving. After what felt like an eternity, she emerged from the thick foliage and gasped. Before her lay a wide, glistening river, its clear waters flowing gently between smooth stones. The sight alone was enough to bring tears to her eyes. She knelt at the riverbank, cupping her hands to drink, feeling the soothing coolness trickle down her parched throat. As she rested, she heard laughter and voices approaching. Panic seized her. Had the villagers found her? But before she could flee, she saw them, 3 women, carrying baskets of clothes and clay pots, making their way to the river. They were not from her village. The women spotted her and stopped. Their eyes swept over her tattered clothes, her swollen belly, and the exhaustion written on her face. One of them, an older woman with gentle eyes, stepped forward. "Sister," she said softly. "You are not well. Who are you?" Itohan hesitated, but something in the woman's voice told her she wasn't in danger. "My name is Itohan," she whispered. "I have nowhere to go." The women exchanged looks of understanding. One reached into her basket and pulled out a piece of bread, offering it to Itohan. Gratefully, she took it, barely managing to say, "Thank you," before biting into the life-giving food. "You are safe now," the older woman assured her. "Come, we will help you." The women led Itohan back to their village, a small but peaceful settlement deep in the forest. There, she was given food, fresh clothes, and a place to rest. The kindness overwhelmed her, but before she could fully process it, a sharp pain rippled through her belly. The baby was coming. Cries of alarm filled the air as the women rushed to help. They led her into a hut, laying her on a mat, speaking words of encouragement as her body was racked with pain. Hours passed, the struggle between life and exhaustion pushing her to the brink. But just as she thought she could bear no more, a sharp cry filled the room. A baby. Tears streamed down Itohan's face as the midwife placed a tiny, wriggling girl in her arms. Her daughter. Warm, fragile, perfect. "She is strong," one of the women said, smiling. Itohan gazed down at her child, her heart swelling with love and relief. Despite everything, the loss, the pain, the betrayal, life had given her a new beginning. She kissed her daughter's forehead, whispering the name that had been in her heart all along. Yua. A name that meant blessing. And for the first time in a long time, Itohan allowed herself to hope. The days that followed were a blur of exhaustion and healing. The women of the forest village took turns caring for Itohan and her baby, bringing her warm soup and fresh herbs to ease her recovery. She learned their names: Amwanasai, the kind-hearted elder who had first spoken to her at the river; Noegbi, the strong-willed midwife who helped deliver Yua; and F, a young mother who had lost her own child and took a special liking to Itohan. Itohan's newborn. Despite the warmth and kindness of the village, Itohan often found herself haunted by memories of her old life, the betrayal, the accusations, the face of her late husband. But every time she looked at Yua, she reminded herself that she had survived for a reason. One morning, Amwanasai sat beside her, weaving a basket as she spoke. "You are safe here, Itohan. But I can see the pain in your eyes. The past does not let go easily." Itohan sighed, running a gentle finger over Yua's tiny hands. "I have lost everything," she whispered. Nia shook her head. "No, child. You have been given another chance. A new life. The question is, what will you do with it? The words settled deep in Itohan's heart. She could not erase what had happened, but she could choose what came next. As the weeks passed, she grew stronger. She helped in the village, learning to weave, tending to the children, gathering herbs from the forest. She found purpose in healing, in nurturing, in caring for Yua and the people who had saved her. Slowly, the ache of the past loosened its grip. One evening, as she stood by the river, watching the sun set in hues of gold and crimson, she whispered a promise to her daughter. "We will not be broken," she said. "We will build a new life, together." And with the flowing river as her witness, Itohan stepped forward, not as the outcast widow, but as a mother, a survivor, and a woman determined to carve out her own destiny. The stories continues. Watch out for more episodes. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, press the bell button to get the latest video and more of our videos. Thanks for watching.